Okay, let's try this again. Maybe I'll actually make it to the future this time instead of taking another one-way trip to disappointment. Where am I? This doesn't look like the future. No, oh no, what the heck was that? You've gotta be kidding me. What's up everyone, it's Kyle from Color Expression, back with another swatch and review. I'm thrilled to be partnering up with Mooncat to check out their recently excavated Pretty Prehistoric collection, which is 8 new lacquers with a matte finish. These are packed with iridescent flakes, microflakes, metallic flakes, reflective glitter, just a whole bunch of stuff, so I am excited to check them out in a bit more detail in this video with you guys. You can also top them with glossy top coat and they're going to look just as good, if not even better. These shades are here to stay and available today, so I will link the Mooncat website down below if you want to check any of them out. These shades each retail individually for $15 USD, or you can grab the whole collection at a slight discount at $108 USD. Mooncat is an independent nail polish brand based out of the USA, and their formulas are 10-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. They also ship to a lot of different countries, so check the other links in the description to see if they ship to yours. You're definitely going to want to make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on, because the next video coming to the channel, not only will we find out the fate of our friend scientist Kyle, but we are doing something really fun with this collection, and if you have any guesses, leave them in the comments down below, but you're not going to want to miss that video, so make sure you're subscribed, turn notifications on, and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get on to the swatches before we all become relics of the past. So first up, we will look at Molten Lava, and this one is this sort of corally orange jelly base, and then in there we are getting some pink reflective glitters as well as this sort of microflaky is what Mooncat's calling it. So it's a little bit larger than a shimmer, but it's smaller than an iridescent flaky. It's kind of this in between, but they are very cool. You'll see as we build it up in 2 coats. I love how this one looked with that jelly base. You get to layer those up, and like I said, this is a matte formula, so you'll see as these dry down just naturally, they're going to be matte. So you can leave these as is. You could put matte top coat on them if you wanted to smooth them out a little bit, or you could put glossy top coat on them and totally change the look, which we are going to look at each one matte and glossy. But I do want to touch on this color. I've been talking so much about the formula. You can see how shifty the flakes in this one are. They get this really golden orange at the extreme angle, and then we get this bright sort of reddish orange at the more like direct angle. But I really loved the shift in this. Those reflective glitters looked so nice, sort of sparkling out in the light, and I was a really big fan of this shade. Next up is Tectonic Shift, and this one is similar to the last shade where we're getting a sort of jellyish base, and in this case you can see it's a seafoam green color, and then we are getting those iridescent microflakes again. But the thing about this one is these flakes are super shifty. I was truly blown away. They look pink here head on, but they go orange, yellow, kind of green at the most extreme angle. It's such a wide range of color, and I feel like they're very sensitive to the light, so you're constantly seeing all of this shiftiness happen. Obviously here in this shot, it's so direct that you're not getting that, but here you can start to see that sort of orange on the side of the nail, and then as we tilt the nails back in the next shot, you'll really get to see some of that shift that you'll see in person. And I totally love it. I feel like this pigment is very cool in how it totally covers the nail. It's almost this sort of scaly look, which is obviously great for this collection theme in particular. But then when you gloss this one, as you can see, there's so much of that pigment. It's such a unique look. It's honestly really cool, and I'm excited to see them formulate even more shades with these, but the ones we got for now, I am very happy with. Next up is Tyrannosaurus Hex, and this one is a green jelly base with multichrome flakes. So these are actually different than an iridescent flake. They don't have that transparency to them. They are pretty much metallic, and then they also change color. So you can see they look green sort of in this lighting. Some of them are showing a little bit of that shift, but they do shift over to purple at the more extreme angles. So you're getting that really cool shiftiness, and then also in this one is a bunch of reflective glitters as well. So I chose to build it up in 3 coats. Honestly, I think you could do 2 and be really happy with the result. But once these dry down, look at how the reflective glitter pops. I don't understand how matte reflective glitter practically looks like it has a phone flash on it. I don't, like, this is my normal studio lighting that you see all my swatches in. It's wild how much these light up. It's so cool. I totally love the effect. And then you can start to see some of that shiftiness too playing in there. And I love the name of this one. I love the look of this one. It's such a gorgeous green. This is so good for this time of year and summer, and could even be kind of good for winter, like a holiday polish. But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking, but I just think that this one is so pretty, and especially glossy too. You can't go wrong with either way. They all look so good both ways. Up next is Velociraptor, and for this shade we are getting a dark teal jelly base, and then the flakies in here, they almost look metallic because the base is so dark, but they're actually iridescent flakes that do have a shift sort of through purple to pink to a little bit of orange in there. It's a really nice shift of color, and then we are also getting that reflective glitter too. So similar to the last one, the way that the reflective glitter looks when it's mattified is so wild to me. I think it looks beautiful, and this one I did also build up in 3 coats, and I feel like more than the last one, you might want the 3rd coat for this one. It was a little bit of a sheerer base, not that that's a bad thing at all, and not that I think 3 coats was bad, because with a shade like this, building it up with that 3rd coat is just going to give it a little bit more depth. And especially in this shot, you can see sort of the teal base layers over the flakies underneath and gives them a little bit of a different color and effect. And I feel like this one is very spacey, very naturey. I love the look of it. You can see matte, we're getting that pop of the reflective glitter, and it's just very cool. But especially glossy, the reflective glitters in this one just really popped to me. I really liked this one glossy, but I do think it looks good either way. I'm probably going to say that for every polish. I'm sorry if I get repetitive, but these are all gorgeous, and I am totally in love with all of them. Up next is Pangea, and this one is a dark blue jelly base that then in here we're getting those iridescent microflakes again, and they might be the same as the ones in Tectonic Shift, but the way they play in this base color is very different. You can see here they have this almost bronzy red look. I want to call it like a blood orange. I don't know how accurate that is or not, but they do shift through to a more golden color and then a green at the extreme angle. And especially at that extreme angle, the name of this shade is so perfect. It's like the land and the water have come together on your nails, and they look beautiful. And especially matte, I loved the look of this one, the way that the flakies look matte. It's just such a nice coating over the nail, and you sort of get this different look compared to the glossy. The glossy is almost sparkly, it's almost glittery in a way that the matte it doesn't allow that to happen. And here you can see some of that shift. We're getting a little bit of that green at the extreme angle. It does get a little bit more green in person, but super shifty, this one. And then you can see glossy, we're getting those flakies, but yeah, they look more glittery. They have such a different look once you put the glossy top coat on them. So I think this is one that I really like matte, but again, it looks glossy too, so it's up to you how you want to wear it, but either way is definitely a good way to wear it. Up next is Sabertooth, and this one is a little bit different than the rest of the collection. It still has that matte formula, but it's actually just this really nice blue shimmer pigment in a baby blue base. And when this one dries down, when you wear this one matte, let me tell you, I'm obsessed with how this one looks matte. It has this almost velvety effect. It's truly so unique. I wouldn't think that a pigment like this matte would look like it does, but This whole collection really is making me rethink matte nails, matte top coat, just when and where to try out matte, because it looks so good on all these different shades with all these sort of different pigments that I would normally think, oh, that's just going to dull it. It's not going to make it as sparkly, as nice, but it's truly so beautiful. And this one did have a slight shift over to a purple at the more extreme angle, so you're getting some of that on the nail, and it's just, honestly, this one is so beautiful. And then once we even put the glossy, it still looks super nice. I love the really fine blue shimmer that we got in this one. It's almost sort of pearly, it's like ethereal, and it's honestly, I want to see this pigment more. I really like it. Next up is Raaawr, and this one is a purple, I would say crelly base. It definitely leans mostly crelly to me instead of jelly, because as you build it up, it does give a more opaque effect, but it is sort of transparent enough that you can still see all of those really beautiful iridescent flakes in there, which they look sort of yellow in this angle here, and then once they shift over to the more extreme angle, they actually turn this really nice blue color, but on the way there's some green. There's a really nice shift of color through these flakes. So I definitely enjoyed them, especially paired with this purple base, and also especially matte. I could say it every time, but this collection made matte grow on me so much, and especially iridescent paired with matte. It gives such a cool effect. It really lets that shift of color show. It's honestly wild, and here you can see how we are getting that blue, but then once we put some little gloss on these, you can see we are getting that really nice iridescent deep in a base effect. So I do like this one both ways. Also, literally, I think I said that every time. I'm sorry if I got repetitive, but in case you're skipping around, you gotta know the deets. Rounding out our collection, we have Triceratops, and this is a similar formula to the last one, where we're getting a bit more of a crelly-ish base, and then in here we're getting a bunch of these blue to green shifting iridescent flakies. And honestly, I loved this one, especially once you see this matte. You get so much color from these flakies, and as we build this one up, I did choose to do it in 3 coats just to get a little bit more depth in that gray base, but I also love what that did. You can see as we're putting on that 3rd coat, it just really lights up so blue. It gave such a different effect once I threw that 3rd coat on, so I really loved this one. And then here, once it dries down matte, you can see so many of those flakies just down through the nail. It looks so deep and sort of mysterious. I don't know, I really loved the effect of this one. Something about those blue flakes, it struck a little chord in my heart. So I'm definitely a huge fan of the shade, and you can see we're almost getting a little bit of gold in that one flake. It's really a cool mix of stuff going on with the gray and the flakies, and then we're going to gloss this one too, of course, and it still looks great. I feel like we're almost getting some purple on the nail right there, so it's such a nice little added bonus that all of these can be worn 2 different ways. It makes this collection like 2 collections in one. It's 16 polishes now, you know? And taking a look at our whole collection together, you can see we're getting such a range of color, but they do all sort of tie back together in this really nice way, and it's such a nice mix of pigments and use of pigments and color together. It's honestly such a great collection. There's so much variety. I'm really blown away. I feel like Mooncat always outdoes themselves, but this one, they set a high bar, so I can only imagine where we're gonna go from here. Now that we have seen these new formulas, these new shades, I want to hear your thoughts on them. So leave a comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite. Are you picking some of these up, or are you grabbing this whole collection? I really liked these shades. I love when brands sort of step out of the box and try something new, and releasing an 8-piece matte flaky collection is not something I have heard of a brand doing, so I love that Mooncat took this risk. I think that it completely paid off. These shades are so gorgeous. I don't understand how the reflective glitter works in the matte. It looks so wild, it looks so bright, it almost has that sort of flash effect to it, so it's honestly just amazing. I think that every shade individually is gorgeous, but all together they're even better, so I'm a huge fan of this release. Like I mentioned earlier, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the epic finale to this video, but also just if you love nail polish, if you like swatches, if you like fun stuff, there is so much of that to come on the channel, so definitely subscribe, leave that thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like, and I think that's going to be it for this one today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Sometimes I wish I had long hair so I could do like a hair flip, or I guess mostly a hair flip. Holy cannoli. Alright, we're fine. Let's just move on.